Imagine you have been told you have suspicion for prostate cancer. That sentence enough is heavy enough to sit with. But now you have to know for certain, is there actually really a cancer? And how serious is it? Traditionally, that meant you need to go for the biopsy, which means sticking several needles inside your prostate, which is a traumatic procedure, in order to find out what tissue is there really underlying. Is it a tumor or is it benign? And for a lot of men, this is a really serious question. Do we still need to push a lot of men through this traumatic experience? Or on the other hand, could a scan like MRI and a newer scan, PSMA PET, we'll explain what it is later, give us an answer instead without the need of pushing the needle through your prostate? I'm Dr. Kovanets. I'm a medical oncologist, and I've been practicing oncology for 18 years. And this year, the answer had moved further than anyone would have expected. And here's what started this video. In a large randomized study called Primary 2, more than 650 men who never had a prostate biopsy and whose MRI was negative or ambiguous, but whose PSA or other risk factors showed suspicion for prostate cancer. These men were split two ways. One got a conventional prostate biopsy, and the other half had PSMA PET scan, and only if this was suspicious, they went through the biopsy. Let me explain what PSMA PET scan is. It's a modern way of scanning using prostate-specific membrane antigen. So this is the antigen or a protein on the surface level of prostate cancer cells, and being able to trace it with a tracer called gallium-68, which emits low levels of radiation we can detect. If you want clear, honest, and research-based guidance on cancer and survivorship, subscribe to my channel. I see from the analytics that many people return to my channel to watch but haven't subscribed yet. Subscribing ensures you do not miss the upcoming videos, and it helps me continue creating content that supports patients, survivors, and families. This is a highly sensitive and highly specific examination to detect prostate cancer nowadays. And what was interesting to see in the study, 49% of men in that PSMA group were able to avoid biopsies because the scan was negative. That's almost half. And I want to be precise what it means because these results could be actually misread. It does not mean that researchers proved that those negative scans mean zero cancer present. Nobody biopsied those men, so we have no way to tell yet. That would defeat the whole point because we want to avoid the biopsy. Instead, the question was whether using PSMA PET scan to avoid biopsies would compromise our ability to find clinically significant prostate cancer, so those that could harm it. And clinically significant prostate cancers were found in 12% of men undergoing the PSMA PET scanning, compared to 16% of those who did not. So this trial shows that PSMA PET strategy met the predefined criteria for non-inferiority. In practical terms means one option is not worse than the other, and dramatically fewer biopsies without an acceptable loss of detection rate. And along the way, the PSMA PET group was diagnosed with far fewer numbers of harmless or clinically insignificant prostate cancer. So this study helps us understand who could safely skip the needle if there's risk we're going to find cancer. But Primary 2 study didn't answer the question whether we can replace the biopsy itself with diagnosing prostate cancer without the need to go through traumatic experience of biopsying your prostate. When the scan was suspicious, those men still needed the tissue. That's avoiding a biopsy, but I want to take it one step further. Could this scan or a combination of scans help us skip the biopsy whatsoever? We could be able to actually diagnose the prostate cancer by itself without the tissue. So this is the premise. And researchers have already tried exactly that. In a study published this year, researchers have deliberately built a strict algorithm, elevated PSA, at least Pirate score of 4 on MRI scan, strong uptake on PSMA PET, and the suspicious spot needed to match on both scans. So not just like your PSA is a little high, things look odd, but multiple independent signals leading to a suspicion that this may be prostate cancer. And 120 of these men met that bar and went straight into the surgery. No biopsy first. And once the prostate came out, the pathology folks were able to look at the tissue under a microscope. And how many cancer they found? In all 120 of these men. And all of these men had clinically significant prostate cancer. All of them, every single one. So that's 120 men in whom researchers trusted this imaging-based strategy to diagnose them with prostate cancer. But there is a catch, of course, hiding in that number, and it is the reason why I would still not suggest my patients going through the process without the biopsy. Two things really. First, in those men undergoing MRI scanning and PSMA PET scanning, these examinations still can be wrong. The benign prostatic hyperplasia could light up, or inflammation nodule could light up. PSMA PET is highly specific to prostate tissue and prostate cancer tissue, but it still has some limitations. And even if the examination is right, it only tells you that the cancer is probably there. It doesn't hand you the cells and the architecture of the cancer, like knowing the grade group or aggressiveness. And sometimes the tissue is used for molecular testing that helps with planning your treatment. It's not only about knowing that cancer is there, it's knowing more information about the cancer itself. And one more trade-off is, even if you diagnose there is a cancer, the patient goes through the radical prostatectomy, removing the prostate, and you find Gleason 6 disease. That is the least aggressive, sometimes even questionable whether it's really cancer or not. And your prostate didn't need to go out whatsoever. You didn't need to have risk for erectile dysfunction or urinary leakage. So this is still a very important and unresolved question. Now imagine that instead of the surgery, you are considering radiation. There's no prostate coming out afterwards for anyone to examine. Would you deliver the irreversible cancer treatment to a prostate tissue you are not 100% absolutely sure harbors aggressive cancer? This is a much higher bar. And that's one of the reasons why biopsy-free surgery doesn't automatically mean we are ready for this type of process. So we're heading. I think we're watching two stages of the same shift. Imaging, helping men avoid unnecessary biopsies. This is very important, and that's already happening. And then imaging replace the tissue biopsy for diagnostics. And we may have some means in the future of knowing better without biopsying the tumor. It's called a liquid biopsy, so practically trying to identify the cancer from the blood. But there's way too few information so far to be able to distinguish early cancer from metastatic cancer, the molecular abnormalities. But looking way into the future, I believe we may as well get there. If you are facing a biopsy right now, please do not cancel it because of this video. A PSMA PET isn't a routine framework in this stage of diagnostics. The decision still depends on MRI, PSA density, PSA velocity, your risk factors, genetics, and overall risk. But if your MRI is negative or equivocal and you have some of the concerning factors present, this is exactly the kind of evolving medicine worth discussing with your urologist. So do we really need prostate biopsies today? Just not as often as we used to think. And perhaps for a growing number of carefully selected men, eventually not at all. The future of prostate cancer diagnosis is probably not entirely biopsy-free, at least not as it looks right now. It's biopsy-sparing when we can. If you want to know exactly what the needle involves, please watch my videos about the biopsy and all the risks and benefits it can offer you. And please subscribe to my channel. The pathway is moving fast, and I will keep producing these videos that can help you understand the health issues you may be going through. My name is Dr. Michael Chovanec, and I'll see you in the next video.